I think you guys are significantly better. Now, it's interesting, and we'll talk about Doolittle in a moment, but I think the additions that you've made here of late have significantly strengthened the bullpen.
Well, I agree. I think we got three guys that like we said at the when I did the media after the trade deadline. These weren't the sexy names in the industry,
No.
but these are guys that we really scouted diligently. We scouted hard. They've got good stuff. They've got swing and miss stuff. They've all been there and done that at the end of games and leverage situations. Elias has plenty of saves, and Strickland has been plenty of saves, plenty of holes, and Hudson the same thing. So these guys are tested. They've got the stuff to pitch at the end of the game. They've got the intestinal fortitude to pitch at the end of the game, and the command and the trust of the managers that they've been with to pitch the 8th and 9th inning of the game. So we significantly upgraded our bullpen. We thought it made our bullpen deeper. With the emergence of Suero and Rainey and having Doolittle on the roster, we felt that we got really deeper. Our B bullpen is much stronger than it was before, and Davey has many more options to go to finish out games as we've seen the last couple of times out.
Yeah, and Doolittle obviously has been sort of the anchor. He's been the one thing that we hadn't really worried about. And then, I guess it's wear and tear, whatever. He's alluded to that. I mean, obviously he's being used a lot and has struggled a little bit here of late. How weird is that? And you guys have been incredibly patient with your guys. I mean, guys struggle, and Joe Ross, a great example. Do you see a scenario where if Sean continues to struggle a little bit, where maybe the roles do change because you do have so many guys that can close games for you?
No, I see Sean as our closer. He's when he's able and ready and in a closing situation, I think we'll pitch him. We're able to be much more diligent with him and to schedule his days off much more willingly right now because we have so many more options. So we think that star closer. He's got great stuff. He's got the attitude and the fortitude to pitch the 9th inning. He's shown that he can do it in the big situations. So he's our 9th inning guy. But Davey's got many more options to go in different routes to finish out games when Sean is down. He has been taxed. He has been worked. We have to be careful going into the season. We knew that he's a maintenance guy that we have to maintain. He's hasn't been on the disabled list this year, thank God, and he's a guy that's been on the disabled list, for the last couple of years, which has given him a break during the season to finish out the season strong. So he hasn't had that break this year. So we're going to have to really manage his workload and be really smart with him. But after the trade deadline, it's given Davey the opportunity and the options to do that. So I think that you'll see us be very much more diligent with the way we utilize him and his workload.
Mike, Joe Ross,
and it'll make him bigger at the end. I'm sorry, it'll make him stronger at the end, which is when we need him.
Joe Ross is roughly 2 years and a month removed from his Tommy John surgery. He's showing why you play the long game in bringing guys back post Tommy John with what he's been doing over the last month.
Yeah, well, he was a guy before Tommy John that, we traded for, we really were excited about. He threw the ball extremely well. Then, he broke and we fixed him. And, we have our Tommy John protocol and we stick to it, very diligently. And he's kind of got to check off all the boxes. Early on when his ERA was in the 9s, he checked off the boxes that he was healthy. His velocity came back. And the last thing that always comes with these Tommy John recoveries and rehabs is the location of the pitches, the touch and feel of the strike zone. And we felt that, once he got that, and it sometimes doesn't happen until the following season, that we would have, the old Joe Ross back, which, is the middle of the rotation starting pitcher. So, yes, we were patient with him. Yes, teams did call about him because other teams, they're not, they're trying to, and they're very smart people, and they see the same thing we did. And but we were patient with him, and he's a guy that we see in our future plans for a long time to come. But a lot of credit goes to Joe for not throwing in the towel when we send him back down to the minors, and he worked on his craft. And a lot of credit goes to our Major League pitching coach and Paul Menhard, who had been with Joe through his minor league days as our minor league coordinator. They went back to the film room. They looked at some old video of Joe, how he was pre-injury, and kind of made some tweaks to his delivery. Paul kind of adjusted where he stands on the rubber, pre-pitch and post-pitch, and his alignment and arm angle and that type of thing. And we wanted Joe to go back to being the athlete that Joe Ross is on the mound, and kind of utilizing his athleticism. So higher leg kick, utilizing his lower body more, and now it's coming out 95, 96 down in the zone with movement. They adapted a slower curveball to go with his hard fastball, hard slider combination, and I think with Joe and with Eric Fetty, that you're seeing guys that are on the rise, and the guys that we thought they were going to be when we drafted and traded for each of them.
Mike, Max pitched the sim game. I think that was yesterday.
Just a few innings, though, right?
Just a few innings, and Davey said he was amped. What can you tell us about how he looked, how he felt during the sim game, and then I guess you're always waiting to see how he feels the day after. So when do you expect to talk to him today?
I'll talk to him when we get to the ballpark, and we'll that he's ready to pitch and that he wants to pitch, and that he's got to pitch, and we'll have to assess what that means. And but our medical staff will be on him. We're on top of him every day. The sim game went well. His velocity was good. His stuff was good. He's absolutely pain free when he pitches, and threw about 60 pitches, 2 innings. We wanted him to go up down. He sat down 3 times and got up. So that's important. We'll take it to the next step when we find out how he feels now, how he feels today. He'll throw a little soft side tomorrow probably, and he'll be. We'll reassess where he's at for game operations and kind of game situations. Because the one thing you can't simulate, even when you're facing Zimmerman and Para and whoever, is real game situations. And when you amp it up and let it, when he really, as he says, it lets it eat, and throwing 100 and 105% effort, and then you really can never replicate that other than when you're ready to go and pitch. So we'll see how he feels. It's good news. But we're going to be careful with him, obviously, because he's a huge part of what we're trying to do here, and we always have to remember we have to sit on the guy because he wants to pitch today, tomorrow, and Friday. So we have to really kind of look through what he says, and he knows his body very, very well, and but he's an ultra competitor, and he's Superman. So we've got to really make sure that he's feeling good and ready for this long term, because we're hoping to play for a couple more months now.